தானே எல்லாம் ஜாயின் பண்ணிடுவாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Okay.
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாமா?
Right. Okay.
ஓகே
Abdul Basit.
Can I start, sir?
Yes, you can start.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to today's webinar on emotional intelligence. I hope each one of you will get benefit out of this session. Let us begin this webinar with the blessings of the Almighty. I request Faiz Rihan to recite the Qiraat.
Thank you, Master. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Thank you so much, Faiz Rihan. It's time for a hearty welcome. I request Amreen Fatima to deliver the welcome address and introduce the guest to us.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to one and all present here. A leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. John C. Maxwell. I take immense pleasure in welcoming our chief guest today, Mr.Peer Ahmed Buhari M., professor in the new college. He has over 20 years of training experience, out of which he has more than 7 years of international training and development experience. Some of his students are corporate clients too. His primary skills include software engineering, software testing, software project management, soft skills. He has been extensively involved in design, preparation of course modules, documentation evaluation. He has completed Masters of Psychology in the year 2010 from the Madras University. He completed Masters of Computer Application in the year 2001 from the Madras University. He did his Bachelor's in Electronics in the year 1998 from the Madras University. He is currently pursuing PhD in Computer Science. In 2006, he worked as a senior technical evangelist in Infosys, China. He also worked as a senior training manager in Free Borders, Shenzhen, China. In the year 2009, he worked as a team lead in Infosys Technologies in India. He had the honor of receiving the Best Foreign Teacher Award from MOS Software College, ECIT in Nanchang, China, and also was awarded as the most valuable player at Infosys, China. His core responsibility involves organizing a training team considering the requirements. His career began as a lecturer in the new college in the year 2001. In the year 2003, he had the opportunity to be a lecturer at MOS Software College, ECIT in Nanchang, China. He also worked as a lecturer in the Taif University in Saudi Arabia. In the year 2013, he worked as a training consultant in India. He also worked in MIIT as an assistant professor. Currently, he is a faculty member of the new college. He has also presented papers and published journals in several international and national conferences. He handles subjects like web application, OOPS, software project management, software testing, software engineering, C++, microprocessor. We're truly looking forward for your session, sir. I also extend a hearty welcome to all the enthusiastic participants of this session. I will once again welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Amreen Fatima, for the delightful welcome. Without any further delay, we can start the session. Over to you, Buhari, sir.
Thank you very much, Fatima, for a long introduction. It actually took me back 20 years back what I did. So really, thank you for your great introduction. Assalamu alaikum, a very good morning to one and all over there. First, I would like to thank Dr. Revati ma'am, Shah ma'am, Meera sir, Afzal sir, the entire team for inviting me to organize this particular webinar today. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. So I think we can start the session, man.
Yes, sir. You can start.
Meera sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, but your video is not visible, sir.
One second. Is it fine now, sir?
Yes, sir. Your screen
Okay.
is visible.
Yeah, fine. Okay, let's make the session a little bit interactive. Okay, so just let me know if I'm very fast, and if you have any queries, you can stop me anytime. But I just want one thing. Let's make it very interactive session. Okay. Okay. So, can anyone in the class define emotional intelligence, or have you ever heard about this particular topic?
No, sir, never heard before.
Okay. Can anyone say what is emotions? See, we are human beings, right? And we deal with emotions every day, right? So can you say what is emotions? Emotions, right? We deal with it every day, right? Anything which comes in your mind, you can just say. Anyone? Okay, let me say one thing. Okay, whoever is going to be very interactive in the class, probably Veera sir will pick that particular student, and probably I'll be giving a gift when I come to the college. Okay.
Sir, they are putting in chat, sir.
Probably I know. Let them speak out.
Okay, okay.
Okay, Amrina said what we feel. Shahida said things is love, hate, etc. Okay, good. Very good. Okay, probably you can unmute yourself and you can respond. Okay, for the next question. Okay. Yeah, it's nothing but a psychological states where we go through every day, right? So, before going in depth about the definition of emotional intelligence, let me start with a small couple of stories. Okay, it's a real story which happened abroad. It's not a cooked up one. It's a real incident which happened, not a story. Incident which happened. What happened? There was a small family, a lovable family abroad, husband, wife, and they had a very cute little girl. So one day, what happened is this particular girl wanted to go and have spend some time with her friends. So she took the permission of her parents, and they dropped her at her friend's place. Okay. So meantime, both the parents they left for the work. Okay, so they had a key. So if at all the kid wanted to come back, she also had a key, and she can open. She was very well get into the house. So what happened? The party or the get together got over a bit early. So this particular kid got back into the home, and she had a key, so she just got back to home. So the same evening, what happened is once the parents were returning home, this particular kid thought, okay, let me make some fun of the parents. So what she did is she hid herself in her room, and she started to by giving some other voices like a thief or something like a voice. She was just threatening inside her. This particular person, father, what happened? He did not even think twice. Immediately he took the pistol which he had, and then he just went close and he just saw the shadow of the daughter. He didn't even get inside. He didn't even talk. He immediately shot her. And after a few seconds, then he came to know that it was his own daughter, and he was so down. So, what did you understand from this particular incident? Anyone? So, what happened? What mistake did this particular dad do?
Over emotions. Sure.
Okay, emotions. Okay. He didn't take time to understand what happened, and his reaction was very fast, right? Okay. So these days we see a lot of this particular emotions happening in life. We can see in sports. We can also see one match when Mike Tyson was had a fight against Holyfield. Holyfield actually intentionally what he does, he hit Tyson with his head. Okay, this made Tyson very emotionally react very fast, and he bit Holyfield's ear. He started now, he bit, I know how many of you know this incident. So even you can see in famous cricketing persons, they show the emotions in the field. And you can see, can anybody tell me two players who come to our mind who handle the emotions very well, and two players who don't handle the emotions very well in the field? The cricket players, okay? Because we're all very fond of cricket, right? Can anybody say?
Dhoni, sir.
Dhoni is what? Is good in Controlling emotions?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then
Virat Kohli, sir. The opposite.
the opposite. Okay. Any other players? Okay. Good example, right? Okay. So what is the difference you find between Dhoni and Virat Kohli?
He's calm and the other one's aggressive, something.
He's very calm and Kohli is very aggressive. That's what. Okay. So, okay, both are successful cricketers, right? So, no doubt in it. But the kind of emotions they show in the field is very different. Okay. Just for example, okay. So, as you all said in the chat box, the emotional intelligence, like the emotions, like it might be a happiness or sadness or very angry or you don't want to talk to. We express our psychological state to everyone, right? So, still, I'm not getting into the topic of intelligence. Okay, so you can see here, Time Magazine in 1995, they covered a lot of hours of television coverage. Okay, introducing millions of people about EQ. That is, what is Q? Emotional. Q stands for quotient. Okay, emotional quotient. So once these people were exposed to it, they wanted to know more. See, they want to know how much EQ they have, or no, they really wanted to know how much they have it. This actually triggered in 1995 itself. Like, no, see here, it's almost 25 years now. Right, but still, most of them, EQ is something very new to us. But so the definition is emotional intelligence, nothing but the ability to recognize and understand emotions in yourself and others. This is the first part. So it's a very, very important thing. You have to, the ability to recognize first and understand emotions in yourself and others, and your ability to use this awareness to manage your behavior and relationships. Got it? So how well you first understand yourself and about others, and how well you express this, that's going to be the key point here. Okay. So there's a difference between IQ and EQ. What is IQ? What is IQ? We say that this student, particular student, have a very great IQ or high IQ, right? What is IQ?
High intelligence.
High intelligence. What is it?
Intelligence in solving problems.
Solving problems. Very, very, very good. Solving problems. So we say a person has a very IQ. That means, like, for example, the particular student might be around 10 years of age. He might be having a IQ of a 15-year-old boy. Okay. So we say he has a very high IQ, right? So we call it as an intelligent quotient. Okay. So IQ is nothing but it is code derived from standardized test designed to measure the intelligence of the particular person. Okay. Now, as you said correctly, it relates to intellectual abilities like how you learn, how you understand, and how you apply the information. So usually what we think is people with very higher IQs can think abstractly and make mental connections more easily. That is what we think, that IQ plays a very, very important role. And we all think if a person has a very high EQ, he can have he'll be very successful in his studies. He will have a great job and he will have a great personal life. That's what we think. Is it correct? I mean, do you agree with the statement? Like, if a person has a high IQ, will be very happy, will be very successful in life.
No.
Why? Yeah, the researchers have actually what they've told us. It's the opposite. They say that people with less IQ has in fact overtake the person who have more IQ. Okay, so even though they have a very, very strong intelligence, we don't see that they are more successful. Okay, we cannot say that they can be a very successful person. Okay? Even in the personal life, we can't say that if they have a high EQ or IQ, they can be successful. But on the other hand, EI, that's emotional intelligence or emotional quotient, is using emotions to think and enhance our reasoning. So they think that those with a high EI are able to manage their emotions as well as use their emotions to facilitate the thinking and understand the emotions of others. So the most successful people in a lot of corporate, okay, see, in my personal experience also, I've seen many, I work with many companies and worked under many bosses. So what I have seen is the person who has a very good emotional, who was able to handle emotions very well, was a very, very successful leader. even though he might not be very knowledgeable, but who was able to handle his emotional, he was very, very, very successful, and we all like the particular person. Okay, so you're all like you want to finally MCA, and you have to get into this market, software market. You're all one after 3 or 4 years, you become a team leader, and after 7 years, you become a project manager. Inshallah, you'll all be there. So this particular EI is what you have to develop right from the beginning, right from today. Probably you have to research more on this particular topic. You have to practice this particular topic, and I'm 100% sure once you start practicing and you understand the importance of EI, you will be very, very successful in your work as well as in your personal life. Okay. So EQ is a key part of the whole person. So you can see the whole person as we can divide into 3, right? We have IQ, that's the expertise, what you bring to work. And we have the personality, or who are you at work, right? And EQ is nothing but how you make the most of both your expertise and your personality. Okay. Any questions till now? Am I very fast?
No, sir.
Okay. See, the talent smart data, like the author of EI2, they have done a research and they have just come to a conclusion like why EI is the strongest predictor of workplace performance. See, in workplace, like for example, you'll be working in India or you'll be working in abroad. Like if at all, like you work in abroad, you might deal with people with many countries, right? Your colleagues will be from other countries, and even in India, it's the case now. Okay. So in workplace, this is going to be a strongest predictor for your performance. If you're very, very good in AI, you can be 100% sure that your workplace performance is going to be very good. So 90% of the top performers have very high emotional intelligence. Okay, so they say that people with average IQs, they outperform those with the highest IQs, and 70% of the time. Okay, this is the research they have done. So the last point is decades of research now point to AI as being the critical factor that sets star performers apart from the rest of the pack. Very important. See, especially after this post-pandemic situation, you can see so many people have lost their job. Okay, and what I heard is the companies which have retained employees during this particular period is they have just checked how the EI of this particular person and they have retained them. They have not checked the technical part. They can get anybody, but getting a person who has a very good EI, it's very difficult. So they have retained those people, and especially going forward, when these days, which is a technology which is ruling right now in the industry. Which technology is ruling right now? We're all talking about every day in computer science. What is the technology? I'm coming out from EI, okay? Technology, what we learn in college, which subject do you think is very important right now? We want to focus. Every student is focusing on this. Which subject is it?
AI, data. Yeah.
Data science, very good. Data science, AI, very good. Yeah, AI, right?
Cloud computing.
Yes, exactly. Artificial intelligence, neural networks, cloud computing, data science. This is what we are here. So, see, we can see the robotics perform most of the tasks like what the humans are doing right now, right? You agree? Yes, right? So, do you think the robots can think like humans? Especially, do you think robots have emotions?
No.
Yeah, it can do whatever job you're giving, it can do very precise jobs, right? But the emotions, no, it cannot. They don't have. They tried it. They tried the level best to bring that particular part into this particular robotic. No, they couldn't succeed later. So that's why humans are different, right? So this particular skill we need to develop. So you will be a very high demand. Okay. So basically, what they say is leadership, right? There are components of leadership, and they divide that particular leadership components into like 3 parts. Okay, the very first skill we need is the technical skill. What is technical skills? So these are 3. There are 3 critical skills that contribute to a leader's ability. Okay, so that he can lead effectively. So the first skill is technical skill. What is it?
The subject skills.
Yeah, maybe knowing about the business market or competition as well as the computer skills. Okay. Okay, so you can see this first skill is very important for any leader. The second skill is cognitive skills. What is it? What is cognitive skills?
Thinking skills.
Yeah, ability to reason analytically.
Logically.
Yeah, and strategic thinking. Okay, so even if you have these two skills, we cannot come to a conclusion that the particular person has a very good leadership qualities or not at all. We can never bring. Okay, so together, the final component what we talk about is the emotional intelligence skill or human skills. Okay, so emotional intelligence proved to be twice as important as the others for jobs at all levels. So if they have this combination of these three skills, you can definitely say that this particular person will be, is a very effective leader. Okay, understand? See, up to 90% of your success as a leader is not determined by what you studied in academic or how much good you're in academic. Okay, so based on this particular EQ alone, you can definitely come out like this particular person can be a successful person. Okay, Jack Welch, a very famous businessman, he says that a leader's intelligence has to have a strong emotional component. He has to have high levels of self-awareness, maturity, and self-control. Okay. Can anybody just talk about like where you have lost your some incident which happened in your real life, like you lost your cool and your emotions were very high, and because of that you got a lot of damage or something happened. Can anybody in this class? Anybody? Like you lost?
Friends, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, who's this?
Friends, sir.
Yeah, please tell.
I had a friend who I used to spend a lot of time with, and we were really good friends. But after before a few months ago, we had some problems, and because of not keeping my emotions in control, and also him, they fought against each other and are not talking since then.
Since then, okay. So you're not talked to each other since then, the past 6 months.
Yeah, but we talked a little bit a while before, but we're not like the friends we were before.
Okay, good. Okay. Let's see, from today onwards, I'm sure that you have to control your emotions as well, okay? And we will be seeing it, what are the methods and how it will help you to control your emotions and be a successful person. We will see that, okay? Anybody else? Anybody else? Anyone wants to share? Okay, so what's EI? EI is utilizing your emotions to determine the right response, the right time, the right person. Okay, so okay. Sometimes Veera sir, is there?
Yes, sir. Yes,
is it okay to can I use a bilingual? Can I also use the term a little bit?
Yes, no problem, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sometimes this particular right response, right time to the right person, we miss it out. Okay, we give a response in a rush. Immediately we do it. Okay, so what you have to understand is emotional intelligence is not just being nice. So that is not emotional intelligence. Okay, or controlling your emotions, suppressing emotions. Okay, or giving free rein to emotions, or attempting to be a robot, just being quiet, not replying or being very passive. That is not emotional intelligence. It is something like you give the right response at the right time to the right person in a very good way. Okay. Okay, one quick question. Is it possible to make a decision without emotion?
No, sir.
Why? Okay. The answer is exactly. Reason without emotion is neurologically impossible. This is what Dr. Antonio Damasio is a professor of psychology, and he draws an intimate connection between emotions and cognition. So he says that never. Reason without emotions is neurologically impossible. So we all have to go through this. Okay. So emotions have taught mankind to reason. Okay, so what do you understand from this picture? See, I'm not a doctor. I'm not taking a science class. It's purely something which we can know, basic things we need to understand. Okay. So this is what is it? What is it? Human brain, right? Yeah. So this particular EI. Why I'm showing this diagram, we understand this particular part. Okay, we have two important parts in our brain. We have something called as feeling mind, and we call it as amygdala. So this is something the region of the brain which is responsible or it mediates between the memory and the emotions. Okay, this particular part. This is a very, very important part. See, what happens is from the chinna vayasula, for example, they're playing in the streets. அப்போ ஏதாவது ஒரு இன்சிடென்ட் பார்த்தாங்கன்னா அவங்க இமீடியட்டா தே திங்க் இப்படிதான் நம்ம ரியாக்ட் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லி தே பெர்மனன்ட்லி ஸ்டோர் தட் பர்டிகுலர் இன்சிடென்ட் இன் திஸ் பர்டிகுலர் மைண்ட், ஃபீலிங் மைண்ட். ஸோ அதனாலதான் சின்ன பசங்க முன்னாடி யூ ஹேவ் டு பி வெரி வெரி கேர்ஃபுல் சொல்றாங்க. வாட் எவர் வி டூ, it will definitely store them permanently and they will immediately react according to that. யாரா சண்டை போடுறத பார்த்தாங்கன்னா சண்டை தான் போன்னு நினைச்சிட்டு அந்த இன்சிடென்ட் அவங்களுக்கு வரும்போது இமீடியட்டா this particular feeling might trigger this thinking mind, trigger பண்ண விடாம கூட immediately implement பண்ணிடும். So all these emotions will be generated by this amygdala. Okay, so very, very important part. Clear? So usually this is the main difference between what animals humans difference. Animals it receives a stimulus and automatically generates a response immediately. So that is why many species it can survive on their own immediately after birth. So it will immediately survive on its own. That's a big instinct, it happens. Okay, so humans that is one. Humans first stimulus we have some time to response, and the time we utilize immediately response and the habit we have to develop. Okay, without incident we have seen. See, in fact, no, I'm 45 now. I'm still learning this particular art. Okay, I'm not the same right now, like 20-15 years back. I was not the same. I used to get very angry, and immediately I used to respond to so many events which happens in my life. So I lost so many things. But after some time, I understood the importance of this. Now I'm taking a pass. Whatever happens, I just think twice, thrice, and sometimes I slowly react. And then I give the response. I'm still learning. I'm still learning it. Okay. So this is very, very important. Okay. So this is the basic system of the brain. We have a neocortex, and we have the limbic system, and we have the reptilian complex instinct. Okay. So this particular, you can see this particular chart. What happens in this particular region here? Okay. What did you have here? Limbic system what happens? Okay, amygdala it will be here actually in this limbic system now, where it controls the emotions. Okay, but here what happens is the first is reptilian brain is what happens here, the heart rate, the breathing, the balance, compulsive behavior, everything will happen here. Okay, the limbic system the memories of emotions, value judgments, or the gut feelings ellame adukaprom pora part neocortex. India abstract thought, imagination, consciousness, everything. So emotions are the driving force behind the decision making process. Driving force behind the decision making process. And the emotions perfect control பண்ணிட்டோம்னா நம்மளோட decision perfect இருக்கும். சரியா? சரி. இப்போ I want to ask a question. Okay, who is that? Muhammad Riaz there? Muhammad Riaz? Okay. Abu Huraira is there? Okay, who's there? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Who's this?
Amreen, sir.
Okay, Amreen. Okay, I'll pose this question to you. Okay. You're working in a big IT company. Okay. And seeing your work and seeing your talent, you've been promoted as a senior project manager. Okay.
Okay.
From team leader, you've been promoted to senior project manager. Okay. And you're just young to the company, just you have 3-4 years experience, and there are people in the company who have 10 to 15 years experience and they're working as a project manager, and you become a senior project manager. Okay, now these project managers have to report to you. சரியா?
Okay.
So அவங்க வந்து உங்ககிட்ட சொல்றாங்க, okay, don't act too smart, don't think too much, you're so young, no, we will make sure that you move out of this company very soon. Don't அந்த மாதிரிலாம் ஒன்று பயங்கரமா they are neglecting you and irritating you. So what will you react? Honest, I want a honest answer. Okay,
I'll actually listen to them.
listen
And
to them.
I'll be quiet, sir. There won't be any like aggressive reaction to it.
So honest answer, or okay?
Yes, sir. Genuinely saying.
Well, but being quiet, no, like I think that might also they might take an advantage, right? So they might be late to the office, that they might not be, doing the work you have given to them.
Yeah.
And they might be very lethargic, right? So that might happen, right? Like if you just say
Or
bind the bill.
Reporting to a more higher official, I'll just tell them that this is happening.
Okay, so what happens if that particular higher official informs them and the mari unga mela complain panniranga inga? So this will make them more angry, right?
Yeah, I don't know, sir.
So how will you handle this? So this situation we will face. Okay, everybody will face. Okay, so what they're trying to say is you have to be very smart and அப்போ வந்து கோபப்பட கூடாது. சில பேர் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, they'll be நான் பாத்துக்கலாம், என்ன வேணா பாத்துக்கலாம், I'll make sure, like you said, நான் போய் மேல கம்ப்ளைண்ட் பண்றேன், we will make sure. So this will create a very bad impact. See, definitely those people would have they should be having knowledge also. So என்ன பண்ணணும்னு சொல்றாங்க அப்படின்னா, first point was right, partially right. நான் எதுவுமே பேச மாட்டேன், I'll be very quiet. That's partially right. எதுவும் பேசாம இருக்க வேண்டாம், but you can make them understand, இல்ல சார், you are very senior to the company, I'm sure I cannot work without your help, உங்களோட கைடன்ஸ்ல தான் I can do all these things, so உங்க சப்போர்ட் ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி you have to talk to them. Got it? So அப்போ அவங்க என்னன்னா ஓகே அப்படின்ற மாதிரி they might think in a different way and they might work together and the company might become very successful. Clear? And the work will be very easy. So yeah.
Yes.
So you need not be more aggressive, you need not be very quiet, but just convey this message in a proper way. Okay?
Yes.
Emotions மட்டும் வெளியில காமிச்சிட்டே கூடாது. Okay? Sure? Any questions till now?
No, sir.
Okay. In the previous example, this particular boy, what happens is he sees two men quarreling, சண்டை போடுறத பார்த்துட்டே இருக்கான். ஸோ இவன் விளையாடும் போது என்ன ஆகுது, அந்த பசங்க கூட விளையாடும் போது இமீடியட்டா when there is a problem, இவன் பார்த்ததை வந்து ஸ்டோர் பண்ணிட்டான். ஸ்டோர் பண்ணதுனால இவன் இப்படிதான் ரியாக்ட் பண்ணுறதுனால பசங்க வந்து என்ன பண்றாங்க, fighting each other, and probably we have developed the habit of being calm, understanding what is happening, everything. Okay, and there is something latest happening. Now, what is emotional venting? Do you all do this?
Yes, sir.
What is it? For example, if you're very upset, right? We show that to a particular person. Okay, normally it happens. See, for example, if I'm very upset in something, I come home, first thing is I see my kid, and what happens is I just vent out all my anger to him. உடனே படிச்சியா, அது ஏன் பண்ணல, இது ஏன் பண்ணல, I show all my anger to him. I just vent it out, which is wrong, which should not happen. Okay, these days you can see most of the people, they use how they vent out the emotions. சொல்லுங்க, these days social media என்ன பண்றாங்க, ஒரு ஸ்டேட்டஸ் போட்டுருவாங்க. கரெக்டா? வாட்ஸ்அப்ல ஒரு ஸ்டேட்டஸ் போட்டுருவாங்க. யார் மேல கோவம் இருந்தா ஒரு 2 ப்ராவர்ப்ஸ் இல்ல ஏதாவது ஒரு ஸ்டேட்டஸ் போட்டா உலகமே பார்த்துரும், தெரிஞ்சிடும். ஓகே, இஸ் எமோஷனலி அன்ஸ்டேபிள், ஏதோ ப்ராப்ளம் போல இருக்கு, அதனாலதான் போட்டிருக்காங்க. இது ஹாப்பி ஆல்சோ தே post it out. So this is something which we need to avoid it. Okay, not necessarily we need to vent out all emotions too, in social media. So kindly avoid it. Okay, it's also very dangerous not to do it. Don't do it. Okay. So good news is emotional intelligence can be developed. Okay. ஒரே ஒரு பாயிண்ட் தான் நீங்க புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். It is not that we are not going to see the உங்களுக்கு 90% இருக்கு, 80% இருக்கு, 70% இருக்குன்னு அசஸ் பண்ணலாம். பட் 70%, 80%, 60% இருக்கிறத வச்சு நம்ம வந்து we need not be like happy or sad if it's below 20 or 30. It is just to check whether your EI is high or low. If it is high, okay, very well. If it is low, we can develop so that you can go to the next level. Okay. So you need not worry that we didn't have any worry. Good news is it can be developed. So once it's developed, now people feel before they think and they act. It's possible to change people's responses to feelings, and these changes have a positive impact on individual and a team behavior. So new behavior improves your job performance. So it's a cycle. So I'm repeating again, since you're all going to work in an IT company, will all be working in a team. Team different people, different behavior. So when behavior perfect, emotion control, I'm 100% sure your behavior will improve your job performance. If job performance is good, you will get promoted very easily. So life also will be very easy. Okay. Okay. So Tom Peters also, what he said is, in leadership, the hard stuff is easy, but it's the soft stuff that's very hard. The emotions. Okay. See, we have so many soft skills. Okay. Various skills are like you can see in this particular picture. We should have presentation skill. You will have assertiveness skills, anger management, communication skills, time management skills, customer service management skills. So many skills, but the foundation EI. Emotional intelligence is the foundation for all critical skills. Okay, so accounts for almost 60% of success at work. Effort putting I'm sure they're saying that almost 60% of your work will be a success. Okay, and people with very high EQ, on average, they earn around $29K per year. That's all. 90% of top performers are high in EQ, and 20% of the bottom performance are high in EQ. Okay, so we just go get into the subject. So we're going to see like எப்படி பண்ணலாம், என்ன பண்ணா emotional intelligence ஜாஸ்தி ஆகும், எப்படி டெவலப் பண்ணலாம். இந்த 4 factors you have to understand very carefully. Here, these 4 factors. Number 1 is self-awareness. Self-awareness என்னது? என்ன பிரிச்சிருக்காங்க? Personal competence and social competence. So, what I see, what I do. Okay. Self-awareness, what is it? It's there in the word itself, right? Self-awareness, self another. Understanding yourself is self-awareness. Okay, we understand self-awareness. What is self-management? Self-management is knowing how to manage your emotions and behavior. Okay, that is self-management. Appo social social self-awareness understanding yourself. For social awareness, now what is it?
Our surroundings, sir.
I'm sorry?
Our surroundings, understanding the surroundings.
Yeah, ability to understand others. That is social awareness. Okay. Ability to understand others. First number to self. So understanding others is social awareness. Relationship management. So how do you manage relationship with others? Okay. So these are the 4 things we will be seeing a little bit more in detail. Okay. Okay. So self-awareness, Abhina, the ability to recognize and understand your moods, your emotions, and drives as well as effect on others are being run. Correct? Right? Okay. So it's a basic foundation, more important foundation skill. In the skill and develop either develop other EI skills will be very easy. So first model understand that is very important. So it is a very important skill, so which will help you to drive other skills very easily. Okay. So researchers have shown that most of the successful people they actually know their own strength. So and they use their strength to the fullest. So if in class, can you tell me that I have this but now I understand strength anybody? I mean, you can say, what is your strength?
I think I can socialize well.
Okay. Boys, anyone? Anybody else?
So I think I can make lots of friends.
Okay, very good. Okay, so some of the hallmarks for self-awareness is being self-confidence, realistic self-assessment, and self-depreciating sense of humor. Okay, now you can see here, இது எப்படி increase பண்ணலாம்? So everybody have, we know the strength. Okay, we'll be able to recognize your moods, emotions, and drives. இது எப்படி பண்ணலாம்? Very first thing is you have to embrace feedback. What is feedback? Feedback இது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப லேக்கிங் ஆகும். இப்போ நம்மளை பத்தி யாராவது ஏதாவது ஒன்று சொன்னா, somebody is trying to say something else, we never listen to them. Do you agree or not? அதாவது it is very easy to ask for feedback, but when you receive that feedback, நீங்க டிஃபென்சிவா போவீங்களா இல்ல அப்படியே அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிப்பீங்களா? யூசுவலா when someone is giving the honest feedback, okay, உங்களை பத்தி யாராவது ஃபீட்பேக் கொடுத்தா நீங்க அப்படியே ரிசீவ் பண்ணிப்பீங்களா இல்ல டிஃபென்சிவா இருப்பீங்களான்னு கேக்குறேன்.
Defensive, sir.
Yeah, you will never agree to it, right? இல்ல நான் அப்படிலாம் கிடையாது, இல்ல நான் இப்படிதான் அப்படின்னா. So people usually they struggle to see themselves as others see them. அதுதான் பிரச்சனையே. So best way is to ask feedback, okay? ஆனா without getting defensive. அதுதான் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப. So you can see it's much less painful to seek out this information on your own than wait until someone brings it to your attention. இதுதான் ரொம்ப முதல்ல நீங்க படிச்சுக்கோங்க. ஃபீட்பேக் எடுத்து நீங்க ஒரு மாத்திக்கிறது வந்து it is very, don't take time. இன்னொருத்தர் வந்து சொல்றதுக்குள்ள you have to correct ourselves நம்ம. So first set yourself a goal, like what are your goals for improving emotional intelligence? Seek out a trusted friend. You will be having a very close friend or a colleague, right? Or have a healthy discussion with him, okay? Some difficult moments, so you need to find someone who can work with those moments. In the feedback, ரொம்ப close friend or very trusted colleague கிட்ட talk to them. Find out my dear can என்ன பிரச்சனை தெரியல, I mean very ரொம்ப சண்டை போடுற angry ஆவறதா, burst out ஆவறதா அப்படின்ற மாதிரி just talk to them, okay? Ask questions like are there any specific situations where or people with whom I tend to get my emotions? நீங்க கேட்டுக்கோங்க. நான் யாராவது ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் பர்சன் பார்த்தா கோவம் வரும்னு சொல்லிட்டு பார்த்தாலே எனக்கு கோவம் வருது, உங்ககிட்ட பேசவே பிடிக்கல எனக்கு அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஏன் அந்த மாதிரி நடக்குது, ஏன் எமோஷன்ஸ் அவனுக்கு மட்டும் நமக்கு ஜாஸ்தியா போகுது, நான் ரொம்ப திங்க் பண்றேன்னா ஐ மீன் திங்கிங் டூ மச், ஓகே, கேன் ஐ கம் டோன் டவுன் அ பிட். அதே மாதிரி வாட் ஹோல்ஸ் மீ பேக் ஃப்ரம் மேனேஜிங் மை எமோஷன்ஸ், எதனால இதெல்லாம் நடக்குது. ஸோ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட், முதல்ல நல்லா பண்ணிக்கணும். இதெல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டா இன்க்ரீஸ் யுவர் செல்ஃப் அவேர்னஸ், ஸ்டடி அபவுட் யுவர் செல்ஃப் ஃபர்ஸ்ட், ஓகே. ஸோ சம் ஆஃப் தி ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜி செல்ஃப் அவேர்னஸ் நம்ம இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்றதுக்கு சம் ஆஃப் தி ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜிஸ் வந்து அப்சர்வ் த ரிப்பிள் எஃபெக்ட் ஃப்ரம் யுவர் எமோஷன்ஸ். ரிப்பிள் எஃபெக்ட் என்னது? What is ripple effect? Okay, நம்ம பண்ற ஒரு சின்ன விஷயம் வந்து that will create multiple damage, பெரிய டேமேஜ் ஆகிடும் கடகடகடன்னு. ஓகே, ஸோ அதை பாருங்க, என்ன அது என்ன எதனால இது பெருசாச்சு இந்த ப்ராப்ளம். நம்ம பண்ண ஒரு சின்ன விஷயம் தான், பட் that will take it to a bigger, that had a bigger impact. Okay, so அதை கண்டுபிடிங்க. Visit your values. What values you have? Check yourself. Know who and what pushes your buttons. And most important thing is stop and ask yourself why you do the things you do. ஏன் பண்றீங்க, எதுக்காக போறீங்க, என்ன பண்றோம், ஏன் ரீசன் ஆகுது. ஃபீட்பேக் இது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்கில்லே வந்து யூ ஹேவ் டு டெவலப் யுவர் செல்ஃப் அவேர்னஸ் ஸ்கில்ஸ். கிளியர்? ஓகேவா? ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா இன்னையில இருந்து? ஓகே,
Yes, sir.
so the second skill is self management. Okay, what is self management? Nothing but is what happens when you act and when you do not act. So basically it's something, the ability to control or redirect disruptive impulses and moods. வர கோவத்தை நான் இப்ப கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணியே ஆகணும். ஸோ என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க நீங்க? டு திங்க் பிஃபோர் ஆக்டிங். பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி கொஞ்சம் யோசிச்சு யூ ஜஸ்ட் ரெஸ்பான்ஸ். தட்ஸ் வெரி வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஓகே, சரியா? சம் ஆஃப் தி ஹால்மார்க்ஸ், இந்த கேரக்டரோட ஹால்மார்க்ஸ் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ட்ரஸ்ட்வர்த்தினஸ் அண்ட் இன்டெகிரிட்டி இருக்கும், கம்ஃபர்ட் இருக்கும், வித் ஆம்பிகுவிட்டி அண்ட் ஓப்பன்னஸ் டு சேஞ்ச். இது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ஓப்பன்னஸ் டு சேஞ்ச் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஸோ இதுல செல்ஃப் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்ல இது வந்து do you think it's a good response or a very bad response? Is it a good response or a bad response?
Bad, sir.
Very bad. He's just venting out his emotions, right? Okay, this is uncontrolled. So okay, an uncontrolled emotion outburst. இப்போ வந்து நம்ம வந்து சொல்ல சார் சொல்லலாம், அவன் நல்லா திட்டிட்டேன், burst பண்ணிட்டாங்க அப்பதான் கொஞ்சம் ஹாப்பியா இருக்க அப்படின்ற மாதிரி most of them feel. So uncontrolled emotion outburst வந்து even though it may make you feel better temporarily, அப்போ அந்த டைம்ல it may be felt better, but it will definitely do some major harm to the relationships. You agree?
Yes,
For
sir.
example, when your relationships are not voluntary, such as with your colleagues at work, minimizing this type of damage is essential to the healthy and productivity of relationship. So, one of the student actually, he told, right, like he had a problem with his friend 6 months back. They had an emotional outburst, and now you can see that it has done something harm done to the relationship, right? So, that's very important. Okay, so minimize that so that it brings health and productivity in the relationship. Very important. See here, life is once. Take this. Okay, life is once. Okay, we're not going to reborn or so. My experience, whatever I've gone through is live to the fullest, live happily, and have a very good relationship with everyone. So yeah, if you feel like it's not good, you can be calm and always walk out, but never have a healthy relationship with everyone. That's very, very important. Clear? So some of the strategies in self-management is take control of your self-talk. Okay, count பண்ணுங்க 10 வரைக்கும் கவுண்ட் பண்ணுங்க. வந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா ரியாக்ட் பண்றதுக்கு இல்ல, just count till 10. Okay, and always smile and laugh more. See, this is what this is very important. What is more important is we have to treat people as people. Simple. When you're going out anywhere, or when you're coming into the college, okay, you see the security guard sitting in front of the gate, right? Just smile and laugh. Put it in a smile. It's not going to cost you anything, right? That will make him happy as well as make you people happy. Okay, clear? So have a smiling face always and laugh more, and learn a valuable lesson from everyone you encounter. That's very important. That is what I say, that whoever you meet in your life, okay, you might learn something, even 1% from him. அது சின்ன குழந்தையா இருக்கலாம், இல்ல பெரியவங்களா இருக்கலாம், anybody you see, you have to learn something, or you will be learning a valuable lesson. இவங்கிட்ட தான் படிக்கணும் அப்படிலாம் கிடையாது. So that is what when I tell my students, like, it's not necessary that I know everything and you don't know anything. கிடையவே கிடையாது. You might be knowing more than what I know. So it has to be a knowledge sharing between. Okay, so yeah. Okay, how many of you know about Great Wall of China? Great Wall of China பத்தி யாருக்கு தெரியும்? Heard about Great Wall of China, right?
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is it? என்னது what is it? Is it one of the wonder?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Where is it? எங்க இருக்கு?
On the borders of China.
Beijing, right? Beijing, it's there. Okay, do you know the history of it?
Little bit, sir.
சொல்லுங்க. Let me also know. Please share.
They built a wall when they were on war. They were in war with some other country to defend themselves.
Okay, good. இது எப்படி ஆக்சுவலா இது யாராவது ஒரே ஒரு கிங் தான் கெட்டாங்களா, இல்ல அடுத்தடுத்து வர ஜெனரேஷன்ஸ் கெட்டாங்க அந்த வாலை?
I think only one king.
Okay, see, actually என்னாச்சுன்னா இது ஒரு கிங் கெட்டல, அடுத்தடுத்து வர கிங்ஸ் எல்லாமே கெட்டினாங்க. Okay, very first thing is you won't believe it. நீங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி there was one, I'm not sure, I don't remember his particular name of the king. He was very upset that time. வார் வந்து அட்டாக் வருவாங்க அந்த பார்டர்ல அட்டாக் பண்ணுவாங்க, பக்கத்துல இருந்து அவங்களோட இன்னொரு பார்ட் ஆஃப் தி so he was so upset, he was going for a walk. என்ன பண்ணலாம், எப்படி நம்ம ஆர்மி ட்ரெயின் பண்ணலாம், ஆர்மில இருந்து என்ன பண்ணலாம், எப்படி தப்பிக்கலாம் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி he was thinking, so upset. And he saw a kid playing, ஒரு சின்ன குழந்தை was playing there in the streets. Suddenly that particular kid, it seems, he asked the king, yeah, why are you so upset? And he said, like, so and so reason, he just accidentally told, yeah, you will upset ஆவீங்க, இதுக்கு பேசாம ஒரு செவரு கட்டிட வேண்டியதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு he told, and he went. செவரு just wall கட்டுங்கன்னு சொல்லி he went. So this particular king got an idea only from a small kid, and then he started implementing it. Yeah, you சொன்னது கரெக்டா இருக்கக்கூடாது, பண்ணலாமே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு they did it. Okay, so that's why they say is learn a valuable lesson from everyone you encounter. Clear? Just want to give an example. Yes, only man-made structure is equal to one. Yeah, exactly. Okay, the third skill is social awareness skill. So இது ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்டான ஸ்கில், to ability to understand the emotions of the people you deal with, that is putting yourself into the other person's shoes. அதாவது you have to take time to really understand his or her problems or their point of view. நீங்க அக்ரி ஆவீங்களோ இல்லையோ அது வேற விஷயம், but you have to understand that their point of view. Okay, how many of you have done this? இதுல வந்து listening and observing the most important thing. நல்லா listen பண்ணணும், observe பண்ணணும். See, let me give a small incident. கேட்டிருக்கலாம் நீங்க, but still I want to repeat it. ஒரு சின்ன ஸ்டோரி தான். Okay, there was a person, he was traveling in the metro with his 3 kids. சின்ன பசங்க, ஒரு 5 years, 3 years, 4 years வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். He was traveling in a metro. 3, 4, 5-year kid. Actually, he was traveling in a metro. He was sitting very quietly in the corner of the metro. Okay, and he was very calm, very calm. And the பசங்க, குட்டி பசங்க, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years வந்து இந்த மெட்ரோல வந்து they were just running here and there, making so much of noise. அந்த மெட்ரோவே ஒரு மாதிரி பயங்கரமா இருந்துச்சு. அப்படின்றபோது is making fun, அங்க போய் விளையாடுறாங்க, சவுண்ட் இருக்காங்க. There are some old people there are some people sleeping, like tirednessல. So இந்த மாதிரி சிச்சுவேஷன்ல if you are there in that particular metro, what you will do? என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? What you will do? சும்மா just tell anybody. நீங்க தான் இருக்கீங்க.
Can't do anything, sir. We can't do anything, sir. They are just a child.
Okay, very good. Okay. சரி, எல்டர்ஸ் யூசுவலா என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க? சில பேர் வேற யாராவது இருக்காங்க, எல்டர்ஸ் இருக்காங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். ஓகே, நீங்க கிட்ட இருக்கீங்க. ஓகே, எப்படி ரியாக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க? சில பேர் எல்லாருமே காமா இருப்பாங்களா?
No, sir. They will say just to be quiet.
There might be some few people, they say please be quiet. Yeah, இவ்வளவு சத்தம் போடுறீங்க. Or they will, in fact, what happened is அங்க உள்ள அந்த மெட்ரோல வந்து சில பேர் வந்து அந்த ஃபாதரை கூப்பிட்டு சொல்றாங்க, ப்ளீஸ் கண்ட்ரோல் யுவர் கிட்ஸ், தேர் மேக்கிங் ஹியூஜ் நாய்ஸ், இட்ஸ் மேக்கிங் டிஸ்டர்பன்ஸ். அதனால அதுக்கும் அந்த ஆள் ரெஸ்பாண்டே பண்ணல. இஸ் வெரி அப்படியே உட்காந்து அமைதியா இருக்கான். ஓகே, இஸ் நாட் ரெஸ்பாண்டிங். அண்ட் தென் பீப்புள் ஸ்டார்டட் ஷவுட்டிங் அட் ஹிம். இவ்வளவு சொல்றவங்க ஏன் கேட்க மாட்டேங்கிறீங்க? why can't you control these kids? They're making huge noise, it's disturbing us அப்படின்னும்போது then he opens his mouth. டக்குன்னு ஒரு ஸ்டேட் ஆஃப் மைண்ட்ல இருந்து வந்துட்டு he says that I'm extremely sorry அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அந்த கிட்ஸை கூப்பிட்டுட்டு பக்கத்துல உட்கார வச்சுட்டு then he says that no, actually I just got a call from the hospital. அது மாதிரி my wife just passed away, so I'm just myself and my kids, I'm taking my kids to the hospital அப்படின்னு சொல்றான். He just got this bad news. And then இதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த people எப்படி ரியாக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க கேட்டதுக்கு அப்புறம்?
They'll feel bad.
And will they again stop kids playing there?
No, sir.
No,
They won't.
they won't, not at all, right? So always, first you have to understand the emotions of the other people you deal with. என்ன சிச்சுவேஷன் இருக்காங்கன்னு தெரியாது. They may be right or wrong. First we have to understand them, their point of view, and then move on. Okay, so you have to listen and observe. See, these days body language plays a very important part in your life. Okay, ஒரு இன்டர்வியூ போனீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், they will easily find out based on your body language whether you're speaking the truth, whether you're really எல்லாமே கண்டுபிடிச்சிருவாங்க. உங்க ஆக்ஷன்ஸ் வச்சு we will easily find out what your mindல என்ன இருக்குன்னு. Simple example is when you go for an interview, they might ask a student, we have opening in Noida, you will be paid 1 lakh per month. ஆனா நீங்க நோய்டால வந்து 3 years work பண்ணணும். சென்னையில தான் நீங்க இருக்கீங்க. Okay, how many of you will go to Noida? And if you don't go to Noida, what will the reason you will say that? யாரெல்லாம் போவீங்க? அந்த ஜாப் ஆஃபர் யாரெல்லாம் எடுப்பீங்க? See, most of the students என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா, இல்ல சார், sorry sir, I cannot go to Noida. Most of them, some people might take this particular offer. Okay, most of them they might say that because I have to see my family and my parents are here, I have to be with my mother, so Chennai la எனக்கு opening கிடைச்சா நல்லா இருக்கும், so it will be good for அப்படின்றாங்க. Okay, immediately there is an opening in Australia, போறீங்களா அப்படின்னு கேட்பாங்க. என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க?
அதுக்கு போயிடுவாங்க சார்.
அதுக்கு போயிடுவாங்க. ஸோ அவன் சொன்ன ஆன்சர் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அப்போ மட்டும் எங்கள் ஃபேமிலி போச்சு, அப்போ மட்டும் எங்கள் இதெல்லாம் போச்சு, தேவ் சரி ஹாப்பிலியா ஓகே சார் அது அப்படின்றாங்க. ஸோ செக் பண்ணுவாங்க. அப்பவும் ஸ்ட்ராங்காக ஒருத்தங்க இருப்பாங்க பார்த்தியா, உண்மையிலே ஆஸ்திரேலியா ஓப்பனிங் இருக்கும், உண்மையிலே இருக்கும். அப்போ ஸ்ட்ராங்காக ஒருத்தர் சொல்கிறான்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, இல்லை சார் நோ சார் ஈவன் ஆஸ்திரேலியா கேனாட் கோ, த ரீசன் இஸ் வெரி கிளியர், ஐ வாண்ட் டு செட்டில் ஓகேன்னு சொல்லி அவங்களுக்கு வந்து தே மைட் டூ சம்திங். திஸ் இஸ் ஹவ் தே டூ மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் தி இன்டர்வியூஸ் கொஸ்டின்ஸ்லாம் பண்ணுவாங்க ஹெச்ஆர்லாம். They just check their values. They don't want technical people. Technical strong and the fine, well and good. Illan sollave illa. But the very first thing is how true you are to yourself. Eppadi neenga irkeenga adha romba paapanga. Romba important. Okay. So my sincere advice is whenever you go to interview, be frank with them. Body language plays a very important role. Adha vechu kande pidichukanga. Okay. Just continue. Okay. So how to increase your social awareness? As I said, walk in their shoes, like your ability to recognize and understand others' opinions and the emotions that come with them is critical to the quality of the relationship. Okay, so put yourself in the other person's shoes. Take time to really understand their point of view. Agree, be a good listener. God has given us 2 years. Be a good listener. Good listeners, like don't assume they know or understand a situation before hearing. Question கேட்டா அவனே ஆன்சர் சொல்லுவான். எங்க போயிட்டு இருக்க அடுத்ததா அப்படிமா அந்த ரிப்ளை வரது கூட they don't want to wait. They ask the question and they themselves they answer. So எப்பவுமே be a good listener. Okay, அந்த சிச்சுவேஷன்லயும் எவ்வளவு நேரம் பொறுமையா பேசுறாங்க, half an hour பேசினாலும் சரி, 1 hour பேசினாலும் சரி, be a good listener. Don't criticize. பொறுமையா என்னன்னு கேளுங்க. Okay, emotional cues read பண்ணுங்க. Okay, non-verbal, that's what I said. Always be aware of non-verbal. அவங்க டோனோட வாய்ஸ்ல கண்டுபிடிச்சிடலாம் ஏதோ ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கா இல்லையா. தென் த ஃபேஷியல் எக்ஸ்பிரஷன் எப்படி இருக்கா உங்களுக்கு. தென் ஜெஸ்டர்ஸ் சொல்லல எப்படி உட்காரணும் எல்லாம், பாடி லாங்குவேஜ் ஜெஸ்டர்ஸ் அது எல்லாமே நீங்க அப்சர்வ் பண்ணணும். அதெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் ஆர்ட் ஆஃப் லேர்னிங். ஓகே, அதே மாதிரி செக் பண்ணுங்க. டெல் them your perception of what they are going through and see if it is accurate. Don't be afraid to ask the kind of questions you really can't ask during a typical conversation. பயப்படாதீங்க. கேட்கறது டிபிக்கல் கான்வர்சேஷன் யூஸ்வலா பயப்படுற கேள்வி பயப்படாது. கேளுங்க, பார்த்து கொஞ்சம் லாஸ்ட் டைம். ஓகே, ஸோ கேளுங்க, டாக் டு தெம் அண்ட் ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் வெதர் தே வாண்ட் டெலிவர் எனி அன்ஸ்போக்கன் மெசேஜஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ சம்டைம்ஸ் பீப்புள் ஜஸ்ட் டோன்ட் வாண்ட் டு சே ஃபிளாட் அவுட். ஏதாவது சின்னதாக ஹிண்ட் மட்டும் தான் கொடுப்பாங்க, அது கொடுத்தாலே பெரிய விஷயம் தான். அதுல இருந்து லேர்ன் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஓகே, ஸோ வாட் இஸ் த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்கில் யூ நீட் டு டெவலப்? What is the first skill you need to develop? Sorry. What is the first skill we discussed we need to develop?
Listening.
Huh? Now box comes in la first box in it. What is that?
Yeah, walk in the shoes.
Self-awareness, right? Second one?
Self-management.
Self-management.
Third is social awareness. Okay, good. So social awareness is some of the strategies we want to implement is always greet people by name. This is very, very important. Make it a habit because people feel very happy when you greet, by name. Summa hi solradhukku hi plus pair solradhukku nariya difference irukku. Appo innum konjam warm ah irukum. Correct? They feel very comfortable when they call, bro, nalla nyabam vechirukanga அப்படின்ற மாதிரி they feel very comfortable. Okay, always greet people by name and watch the body language. Okay, so live in the moment. எதை பத்தி யோசிக்காதீங்க, past future, live the moment and practice the art of listening. And last point, which we repeatedly keep saying, is step into their shoes. Okay, see, human being is a social animal. So being a social animal, you have to take care of these things very carefully. Okay, last one is relationship management. What is relationship management? Anybody wants to talk about it? What is it?
Maintaining the relationship between two people.
Maintaining, how do you manage relationship with others? Very good. So how do you professionally manage relationship and building networks? It's very important. See, an ability to find common ground and build rapport. I keep on asking this particular question in all my classes. BCA students I usually discuss this particular incident. There are 3 types of students in the class. Okay, typical, for example, I'm just talking about example. Okay, one student he used to come to the class on time. 9 o'clock class, 9 o'clock sharp. 2 o'clock class, 2 o'clock class, okay, he'll be very good in studies. 9 o'clock, 2 o'clock கரெக்டாக போயிடுவான். வேறு எங்கேயுமே போக மாட்டான். வில் பி வெரி குட் இன் ஸ்டடீஸ் அண்ட் ஓகே. செகண்ட் வந்து டைப் ஆஃப் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் வந்து ஹில் கம் டு கிளாஸ் ஆன் டைம். He will he will go to the ground, but he will not play with the friends. பசங்க விளையாடிட்டு இருப்பாங்க, கிரிக்கெட் கூட உட்காந்துருப்பான். He will be there sitting, encouraging them, clapping, என்ன பண்ணுவான், கூட இருப்பான். Then he goes home. Third person வந்து he'll come to the college, little bit of studies இருக்கும், but he plays a lot sports, he plays a lot, and then he goes home. Okay, is 3 type of students. இந்த 3 பேர்ல வந்து I'm not saying யாருமே சக்சஸ்ஃபுல், எல்லாருமே சக்சஸ்ஃபுல் ஆவாங்க. ஓகே, ரொம்ப கேஷுவலா ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியா யார் இருப்பாங்க லைஃப்ல, ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஈஸியா எடுத்துட்டு ஓகே they can solve it அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஈஸி கோயிங்கா யார் இருப்பா இந்த 3 பேர்ல?
Second one, sir.
Second one.
Yeah,
Because he encourage all about the friends.
it's encouraging all about the third person. First person வந்துட்டு போறானே, ஏன் he should be very happy, right? He's on time. Okay.
He has no relationship, sir. He just comes to the school, or college. He just studies and goes off.
Good, very good point, very good point. Okay. Okay, actually what they're saying is the third person irukka mathiya, he will be more happy and more successful ngraanga, even though it might be pretty odd. What they say is I know most of them you all play cricket, right? Or whatever sports you play football or cricket or whatever sports. What is good thing you learn in sports?
Discipline.
Relationships, sir.
Relationship. Discipline. Then
Team coordination, sir.
very good, team coordination. இன்னொரு ரொம்ப முக்கியமான point you will learn. You all play cricket, right? எல்லாரும் ஆடுறீங்களா? Most of them?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Plan, sir.
Plan, okay. முக்கியமா பாத்தீங்கன்னா what will happen is when you all play a match, சமய சண்டை வரும். நடந்திருக்கா?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Always, sir.
Always, you all have a good fight, right? But the match முடிஞ்ச உடனே அடுத்த half an hour என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க?
Talk about the match.
இல்ல அந்த சண்டை வந்து மைண்ட்ல நிக்குமா, இல்ல you will take that particular fight forward or you will just forget it?
No, sir. No, sir.
You will forget it.
You will forget it immediately, right? அது மேட்ச் அப்போ அவ்வளோ டென்ஷனா இருக்கும், சண்டை பயங்கரமா வரும், ஸ்டெம்ப் உடைப்பீங்க, அதெல்லாம் எல்லாமே நடக்கும். At the same time, after some time you all become friends, everybody will be having the same cool drinks and we'll be leaving, right? At the match we'll be talking about next match வச்சுக்கலாம். Whatever, its relationship was very good. Okay, இதுல என்னன்னா பியூட்டி என்னன்னா, this particular sports person, they will accept defeat very easily. Okay, அந்த டைம்ல வந்து பயங்கர சண்டை போட்டாலும் அதுக்கப்புறம் they know to handle the defeat. Okay, the second person இருக்கா பாத்தியா, அவன் விளையாடுனா கூட இந்த சண்டையெல்லாம் கூட பாக்குறான், எல்லாம் கூட பாக்குறான், கூட இருக்கா, விலைக்கு விடுவான், எல்லாம் பண்ணுவான். He will be the second successful person. Okay, so what they say is அவன் வந்து அந்த defeat பாக்குறான், அவங்க எப்படி மேனேஜ் பண்றாங்க பாக்குறான். So he also have a part of it. But the first person who don't have any relationship with anybody, just comes and goes, don't talk to anybody, that particular person will be having a difficult time to handle defeats. ஒரு சப்ஜெக்ட்ல ஏதாவது ஃபெயில் ஆயிட்டா போதும், அவ்வளவுதான், முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. ஒரு ஏதாவது ஒரு டிஃபீட் வந்துச்சுன்னா he will be very upset. So ஏன்னா இந்த மாதிரி he not handling people emotions, அதனால தான் the problem. Okay, yeah. So relationship management வந்து it's what are the hallmarks is like its effectiveness is a leading change, persuasiveness and service orientation. இதுல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா just see this, remember that emotions play a role in every interaction you have with another person. எப்பவுமே any person interaction தான் கூட emotions will play. உங்களுக்கு நீங்க அவேரா இருக்கீங்களோ இல்லையோ இல்ல, கண்டிப்பாக நீங்க ஒரு கான்வர்சேஷன் ஒரு இன்டராக்ஷன் ஒரு பர்சன் கூட பண்ணும்போது எமோஷன்ஸ் will play. சரியா? So emotions often influence the back and forth between two people more than the words being said. நம்ம பேசுற வார்த்தைகளோட எமோஷன்ஸோட இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ் நிறைய இருக்குங்கிறாங்க. So the ability to spot emotions in the midst of an interaction, understand the influence and respond effectively is the essence of relations management. அது ரொம்ப கேர்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். அதை டக்குன்னு ஸ்பாட் பண்ணிட்டு அதுல இருந்து நம்ம அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணி அந்த ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணாதான் அந்த ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் நல்லா இருக்கும். இப்போ one of a friend told, right, he lost his friend, he couldn't have a good. இது அன்னைக்கு யாராவது அதுல ஒருத்தர் வந்து கொஞ்சம் காமா இருந்து இதனால நம்ம ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் பாதிக்கும். See, people say there's a proverb, right? If you give money to a friend, what will happen? Usually சொல்லுவாங்க, இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்லுவாங்க, right? if you just give money, if you lend money to a very known person, either you lose your money or you lose your friendship அப்படிம்பாங்க. கேட்டிருக்கீங்களா? ஆனா
Yes, sir.
இதே இன்சிடென்ட்டை இஐ நல்லா ஹேண்டில் பண்றவங்க, if they think, okay, in the particular period my particular friend was not able to return back my money, there'll be some problem, but I still don't want to lose his relationship in நினைக்கிறவன் he will handle the situation in a very good way. He will not insist on asking the money. கேட்க வேண்டாம் major, because அவனுக்கு the money-யோட the friendship ரொம்ப important. 20 years of friendship, இப்படி 1 minute it will go. Not 1 minute, 1 second that they will go. Okay, so the building the 20 years of relationship, எவ்வளவு time எடுத்திருக்கும், but matter of 1 minute it will go. So you have to think very carefully and just control your emotion. Okay, so recognize it's very hard, not easy la கிடையாது, it's ரொம்ப hard இது. Now easy எடுத்துறேன், I can easily say do it, but it's really very hard. But try to practice it. Okay, you're all still young, you have a lot of time. Try to practice this from home. That's very important. வீட்ல இருந்தே யாரும் நீங்க அந்த emotions கண்ட்ரோல் பண்றது. Okay, like parents might be giving you some work, கோவப்படுறது, பண்ண முடியாது, it all happens, right? So அதுல இருந்து அங்க இருந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணீங்கனா வெளியில நீங்க கண்ட்ரோலா இருக்க முடியும். வீட்ல நீங்க கண்ட்ரோலா இல்லனா வெளியில you never be out of control. So check your emotions at your home itself. Okay, so recognize the emotions, yours and others. First recognize your mistake, make a repair by acknowledging your mistake. தப்பே இல்ல, acknowledge பண்ணுங்க, sorry, it's my mistake அப்படின்ற மாதிரி acknowledge பண்ணுங்க. Show empathy and be earnest. Other problems பாருங்க. Okay, this is all very important. So some of the strategies is be open and curious, take feedback well, build the trust, acknowledge the other person's feelings, do it, tackle a tough conversation, பண்ணுங்க. Remember the little things that pack a punch. Okay, so my sincere advice is never try to break a relationship. Break ஆறமா இருந்துச்சுன்னா அது சாஃப்டா ஹேண்டில் பண்ணுங்க, பேசி தீர்த்துக்கோங்க. Don't emotions ரிலேட்டட் பண்ணிடாதீங்க. Okay, so increase your EI. Researchers have shown that people improve their EI most when the following conditions are present. They have a strong motivation to learn or change. இருந்தா பண்ண முடியும், இல்லனா you cannot increase your EI. They have to practice new behaviors consistently and they have to seek the feedback on their own behavior. கண்டிப்பா நீங்க பண்ணியாகும். Okay, you all like Tendulkar, right?
Yes, sir.
See, he is a very great player. You won't believe, every time he goes out to bat, even if he scores a century or he's done, he gets a feedback from the coach immediately. Enna thappu panna 100 out ana kuda na eppadi out ana, he doesn't think that 100 nalla aadala, enna mistake panna, sila ball beater aayirukam. So he gets consistent feedback, constant feedback from the coach, it seems. So on the feedback number miss pandradnala we are not able to improve ourselves. Okay, so make that happen. Okay, so how to develop your EI? To put a summary on it: define who you are, define what you want to be, seek feedback, identify behaviors you want to keep, identify behaviors you want to develop, experiment it, reflect on the outcome and practice them. ஒரு ஸ்கில் எடுத்துக்கோங்க, டெவலப் பண்ணுங்க, ரிஃப்ளெக்ட் அவுட்கம் பாருங்க, இன்னொரு ஸ்கில் எடுத்து behaviors பண்ணுங்க. See, these are emotional intelligence and job title. எவ்வளவு பாருங்க, you can see here, யாராவது 80% மேல போயிருக்காங்களா பாத்தீங்களா? Individual supervisor or manager, even the CEO, you can see his level is only 70 EI score. That's what I say, don't measure the high, ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கு கம்மியா இருக்குன்னா சொல்ல தவிர values வச்சு we do not measure. Okay, so nobody has touched 80. You can see nobody. EI score வந்து ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். You can see senior level போகும்போதே அவங்க, I have seen many people in my life. Okay, ரொம்ப சீனியரா இருப்பாங்க, பயங்கரமா இந்த ஹேண்டில் பண்ண தெரியாது, எமோஷன்ஸ் ஹேண்டில் பண்ணவே தெரியாது, they didn't know the importance. Okay, still I am learning, every day learning it. Okay, so action plan, what you have to do is you have to pick an EA skill to work on, pick some strategies to begin and choose your skill. ஒரு மென்டரா சூஸ் பண்ணுங்க, EA யார் நல்லா இருக்காங்கன்னு பாருங்க. We have to definitely choose one mentor, senior most people, and then always when you do this you have to think, expect success, not perfection. Practice, be patient. Okay, this is very important. Be patient. It's very important. Okay, and measure your progress. See, when professionals assess their own EQ, நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா எந்த ஏரியால ரொம்ப ஹையா இருக்காங்க, 68% of the people receive EQ scores between 65 and 85. 68, just think, 16% has below 65 16% receive score above. This is very actually. 60% more, very, very less. Okay. So this is going to be a life-changing skill for you all if you really work hard on it, explore it. We cannot become an EA expert in 1 hour. 1 hour session, we can never. It's a life learning process. Every day, every minute, you have to learn about it. Okay. So in order to be successful and fulfilled nowadays, you must learn to maximize your EQ skills for those who build reason and feeling achieve the greatest results. Like Dr. Stratus Badbury and Gene Greaves. Okay. So some of the resources which have been used, and that's the end of my session. If you have any questions, let's just go ahead. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The floor is now open for questions. Please feel free to ask your questions.
So, everybody are expecting a technical session, but we just want to take a time out, and we thought that this particular session would really help you, to improve your technical skills as well. So yeah, so hope you all like the session.
Yes, sir, it was really good.
Students, you can unmute and speak. You can ask your questions.
You can ask your questions, and you can clarify if you have any doubts.
Or use your chat.
Okay, you can also very well connect me. I'm there in the college. I've seen you many students. Most of them I've seen you. So anytime you can just contact me. Okay, you can just reach me out.
Yes, sir. Now I'm a student, sir.
Very good. Name, pa?
Faisal Salahuddin, sir.
Faisal, okay.
BCA, second year, third year.
Oh, sure. Okay. Most of them are BCA students, right?
Yes, sir, I am.
So no questions?
Okay, ma'am.
Sir.
Sir.
Yes.
Yeah. If there are no questions, I'd like to take a minute from my side.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, I met Buhari sir in the year 2015. We worked together in MIIT. So actually, before that, I was kind of very short-tempered person. I used to get angry a lot. So after meeting Buhari sir, so he just transformed me. Like he always used to say, you have to think and react. So till now, I follow that kind of a thing. Really, thanks a lot, Buhari sir, for your, So it has really, you are the person who came and changed my. How do we relate with the people and all these things I learned from you. So thank you, Buhari sir.
Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure working with you all, sir. Actually, we learn each other. I learned a lot from you.
We always impress on you, sir. How you handle the situation coolly, with smiling face.
Probably with experience, we'll learn more, sir.
Buhari sir, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, I'm very much happy by your webinar. I'm much impressed by your presentation. What I learned from you is always remaining cool, because we both worked together for nearly 3 years, I hope so, in MIT.
Yes. Yeah, 4 years.
You by saying Samandhi, but you never attempt to get angry with me. But suppose if anyone in place of you, they might have got angry and they might have fought with me. But you always remain patient, and you control anger by smiling. Inshallah, I will follow your principle, Buhari sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It's not my principles. It's what I have learned so many things from my seniors.
A lot of changes because of you.
Hope it's a good change, madam.
Thank you, Buhari sir.
Thank you, sir,
for your presentation. Thank you for inspiring our students.
Sure, sir.
Our students might have learned more from you, how to become a patient, how to handle a tougher situations. So I'm much happy by your presentation. Thank you, Buhari.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, your session was
Thank you.
very very, very insightful for our students and even everyone. Everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am.
You have taken very beautifully and you have taken very well, sir. You have taken that flow notes very, very nice. And one more thing is, you advised our students that there is your suggestion. You said that be a good listener. That's very, very important in this fast world. I hope so, because if you listen, so many things we can rectify. We can solve it. So many
Yes.
things. So without listening only, all will happen, and they are taking the decisions immediately, and so many things are happening. So we can avoid all those things if one listens means. So this is a very, very important point for our students to be a good listener. So whatever you know, how much you know, be a good listener is very, very important. We can learn so many things. So being a good listener. So this is not for only for the students, for each and everyone it will applicable. So
Yes.
being a good listener is very, very important. We can learn so many things if being a good listener. And one more thing sir said is, so we have to change our attitude through this emotional intelligence, controlling emotions. Don't be very sensitive. We have to control the emotions. So now this is the, we have, even though if you are very strong in your technical, I'm talking about the talking to students. If you are very strong in your technical skill, it's not enough for today's world. So we are all going to work in a social environment, right? So we have to we must develop our interpersonal skills, and we have to mingle with others, other members, other colleagues, and other team co-workers. Okay, so we have to learn all these things. Only technical is not at all enough. Okay, so whenever you learn all this emotional intelligence, so this will not happen overnight. So we have to inculcate within ourselves. So each and every day we have to consistently, we have to follow this attitude. So good attitude, we have to practice this. So I hope all students, every one of these participants, they have enjoyed your sessions. You have taken very beautifully. I hope from your session, each and every one of our students, they understand what is emotional intelligence. Hereafter, we are going to see a big change in them. I hope so in the class itself.
Definitely, ma'am. Let's work together. Sure, ma'am. Yeah.
Very, 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 very useful. And one more thing I want to mention here, we have all undergone the psychometric test to assess ourselves.
Okay.
In this emotional intelligence psychometric test.
Okay.
MIASI management,
Wow,
they have
fantastic. Okay.
a psychometric test for our faculty members. I hope before a year, I think it took 1 year, I think. So we have undergone this psychometric test. So this is also another tip for our students to assess ourselves. We can go, it's in the Google itself. So we can take that psychometric test and we can test ourselves whether we improved in this emotional intelligence or not, and all we can do that.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
really very, very nice sessions there.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I'll make sure we'll have more kind of sessions in future, ma'am.
Definitely.
This MIT is always close to my heart. So,
definitely. So you are our ex-colleague.
yes. No, don't say ex-colleague. Always a colleague of MIT, ma'am. So a part of your.
Yes, sir. I have not worked with you, but I have heard a lot of things about you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, ma'am, for giving the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. So,
Thank you, Buhari, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Abdul Basit.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable time and very useful information to us. To express our gratitude, I call upon Sati to propose the vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you, Basit. I'm audible?
Yes,
you are audible. Switch on your video.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone gathered here. Respected Chief Guest, Director, Ma'am, Head of the Department, teachers, and all the participants. It is such an honor to purpose the vote of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to a resource person of this session, Mr.Peer Buhari, for taking time from his busy schedule to grace this program. Thank you so much for your time and valuable insight on emotional intelligence. This session was very informative for all of us. A special thanks to our respected director, Dr. Revati ma'am, and head of department, Dr. Usha ma'am, for the immense support and conducting successful webinar. I also thank the organizing team for conducting a successful session. I also thank all the professors for their presence, and I thank all the participants for their involvement today. Once again, thank you everyone for your presence and for making this session successful. Thank you, sir.
Students, feedback form is posted in chat window. Please fill that feedback form. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Veera, sir.
Thank you, Buhari, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Sir, we are expecting more from you.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely.
Okay, sir.
Thanks, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you.
Sir, bye, sir.